place. The colonists' houses were on the north and the south of the squares. Now here to the right is the Foley House Inn. And this is an example of many of our inns and bed and breakfasts that we have throughout the historic district. And you gotta look for them. They're tucked away on little side streets. They're in beautiful, beautiful old restored antebellum homes. Great places to stay. You can find one house that was built in 1831. One more time. If you look down at the downspouts, you're gonna see those wrought iron downspouts. Those are in the shape of dolphins. And believe it or not, they're original to the home. They were placed there in 1831. They're still there. And here's a good story for you, a little trivia. Because Sherman was marching here from Atlanta. Of course, you know, he burnt Atlanta down. He burnt all of the plantations between there and now. People just don't know what they want to do here. But anyway, when Sherman got to near Savannah, Mr. Green, who owned that house, and some of the city officials raced out and pleaded with him not to destroy Savannah because it was undefended. And they offered him that house. And this is the original building of SCAD. That's the building they had in 1979. I said they had one building. That was it. That's where they held their first classes. And now that represents a man by the name of Count Casimir Pulaski, who was a Polish nobleman who believed in our cause for independence against the British and came to America and offered his services to General Washington. Because he had a military background, he was appointed a general in the Continental Army and really formed the very first United States Cavalry. So he's considered the father of the United States Cavalry. And unfortunately, Count Pulaski was mortally wounded right here in Savannah in October of 1779 during the siege here. It's not a bad little place, if you can afford it. It's the Armstrong Mansion, built in 1912. After Mr. Armstrong died, his wife bequeathed it and formed Armstrong Junior College. And all these homes along Forsyth Park are just fabulous. Some of them are still private. Are there any dog walkers aboard? Anybody like dogs? Is it just me? I guess. Somebody ran a hand up. All right, there you are. Well, this is where I walk my dog, right along the park. Right along the sidewalk. Yeah, the dog, his name is Maxwell. He's a golden retriever. It's called the Sentient Bean. It's now a senior residence, but this building dates back to the 1830s. Was bequeathed by Mary Telfair. She was from a very wealthy family here in Savannah. Take a look to your right. Take a look at this tree on the right-hand side. This live oak tree is said to be more than 300 years old. Died in duels here in Savannah. It was finally outlawed in 1815. And well, why would they have it there? Well, here's why. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you came up at the wrong end of the duel, I mean, you were just right here at your new home, you know, this is it. This is where you went. This is the Colonial Park Cemetery. This opened in 1750 and was George's burial ground until 1853. And after that, General Washington replaced his general, Benjamin Lincoln, and put Nathaniel Greene in charge of the Southern Theater. And Greene is credited with chasing the British out of Georgia, all through the Carolinas, all the way up into Virginia, where the British were finally defeated at the Battle of Yorktown, and we secured our independence. And because of General Greene's accomplishments, the citizens of Georgia awarded he and his family their very own plantation. The side of the building, you can still see his old advertising there. Faint letters. Part of it says cures for headaches. And this is another nice inn, the Keogh House. William Keogh built the house. He owned the wrought iron works outside of town. So he has lots of wrought. And the person who built it, his name was Richardson. He was a very wealthy man, obviously. And he sent away to London for an architect. His name was William The most unusual thing about the house is it had indoor plumbing. The very first house in the United States that had indoor plumbing was right there. Even before our White House. On top of his grave. I don't think it was great. The Lutheran Church of the Ascension. It's open for tours usually. Over there. Over to the left. That white building. $100 million worth of Monet paintings on display. Original Claude Monet Impressionist paintings. So you can see $100 million right there. Their original place of worship, and it's now the Christ Church. It's an Episcopal church. Round, and you can, if you're still here, it's really not for another week, but it's really a great venue to go and see a great show. This was made of stones, and they took these stones off of the ships that came from England. They would fill the ships' holds with stones so they could cross the Atlantic. They needed the weight. So when they got here, we'd unload them, and we made these crude ramps. They were called ballast stones. And they would put their bids in. And if you were the successful bidder, you would then take it to your warehouse to bid, and then be shipped.
And they all silk worms. Well, that's because King George expects to fill his coffers with the revenue that would be generated by the production of silk. Yeah, in the 13th colony. But alas, this looks like now I find the following turn of events to be quite interesting, to say the least. You see, shortly after the Patriots had ripped from the grip of King George the colonies of America, I, a humble teacher from Massachusetts, came to Savannah to visit Mulberry Grove Plantation, right up the Savannah River here. The state bestowed as a war prize upon General Nathaniel Greene for his meritorious service to this country. Well, why you're here in Savannah, I bid you do. Oh, and as they say here in the South, bye, y'all.
Monuments to my left. It's called the Waving Girl Monument. It's a tribute to Florence Martis. Young lady lived in Savannah, and in 1899, she was living on an island downriver with her older brother, who was a lighthouse keeper. And she met and fell in love with a sailor right here in the port of Savannah. And the young sailor had to ship off, but before he did, he promised as soon as he returned that they would wed.
Hello. Hello, everyone. My name's Forrest Gump. I'm just down here on River Street with my friend Lieutenant Dan. We're gonna get ourselves a new shrimping boat today. It's gonna be jetty number 43. Lieutenant Dan said that he got a good deal from some fella online named Craig. He got himself some sort of list or something. I just hope he's an honest man. The internet is a lot like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. But ever since they made that movie about me, I've been sort of an ambassador to Savannah. So I like to come on all the old Savannah tour trolleys and say hello and welcome to Savannah. Hello. Welcome to Savannah. That's all I got to say about that. So it was nice to meet you all. Enjoy the rest of your tour. Thank you.